Hi, I'm Josh Michel. I'm a field agronomist with Iowa State Extension and Outreach, and I cover Northeast Iowa. And today we're going to talk real quick about harvest and how we harvest our crops. Okay, so in front of me, this is a John Deere 9450 combine. Uh, and you can see that it's a pretty large machine. They do get much bigger than this, especially the newer ones get much bigger than this. But this one is still fairly decent size. And the thing on the front of a combine is called the head. Um, Heads can also vary in size, anywhere from a 4-row head on up to very big. But you can count it's a 4-row head because it has 4 spaces in between these snouts. This is called a snout. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this combine is able to harvest 4 rows of corn at one time. So your corn plant comes in right here, and it's gathered up here in between these areas. It comes up, and then it's collected by this auger in front. And you can see that there's some ears of corn right in there, and those ears of corn are all directed into the middle. And behind this big auger is what's called a threshing drum. And that threshing drum, what it does is it beats those ears and those stalks together to release the grain or the kernels away from the other plant material. So that threshing drum, again, is here, right up here. And its job is it separates, helps separate the corn kernels and the soybean beans from the pods. Basically, it allows that grain to be freed up away from the other plant material. So after the threshing drum, then the grain continues on into the combine, up here into the middle. And in the middle, there is a series of different sieves and screens that it falls into. And the grain, after it falls down to the bottom of the combine into a collection holding pit or tank. And it stays in there. And then there's an auger on the other side that I will show you quick. So on the other side of the combine is an elevator. This is the elevator right here in front of me right here. And this elevator takes the grain from the bottom of the combine and takes it up to the very top of the combine. And there's a hopper or a bin at the very top. And that is what holds all the corn or the soybeans until the combine gets full. Now, what happens to the rest of the plant material that we don't want? So the corn cobs, the leaves, everything else that we don't want comes here from the back of the combine, comes out the back of the combine, and ends up on usually some type of a spinner plate or a rotor. And this job back here is to separate this material out, the stuff we don't want. It spins it out and spreads it out evenly across the back of the combine out back into the field. So that's basically what a combine does: is it harvests the corn or soybeans, it separates the grain from the chaff, the stalks, the leaves. It collects the grain up in the top of the combine, up in that hopper. And then when it gets full, you can see this long arm that extends out the back. And what happens is when that hopper gets full, oftentimes you'll see a combine pull up alongside of a semi or a truck or a wagon, and this long arm will come out. It'll stick out from the side of the combine, and that is used to unload the hopper in the top. And we happen to be pretty fortunate here at the farm where I'm at right now. We actually have not only the combine, but we also have the wagons that it would unload next to, and also the grain auger for getting it up in the bin. So Right here we have one of the wagons that is full at the moment. So this is a wagon that the combine would offload into. This one holds quite a bit of grain. So the combine will offload into this wagon. The farmer can then bring this wagon back to their farm next to the bins. They can open this wagon up right here. The corn comes out down the slide, down here in, and it gets loaded up into this grain auger, which is powered by a tractor. And then that grain auger helps move the grain up into the bin. So that's basically kind of a very simplified explanation of what occurs during harvest season. First, you have the combine harvest the grain, whether that's corn or soybeans. And then when it gets full, it'll often unload into a semi or a wagon. And then that wagon is brought over to the bins or the bin setup, or it may be taken to the local co-op or the elevator where the farmer would be selling their grain. And it's offloaded into a series of augers or pits. And then the grain is stored in a grain bin, or it's stored there at the elevator. And as always, if you have any questions about anything agronomic related or crop related or harvesting, please feel free to reach out to your local county extension office, and we'll do our best to help you out any way we can. Thank you.